Have you ever opened your textbook, stared at the same page for 10 minutes, and realized you don't remember a single line you just read? Yeah, we've all been there. You sit down to study, determined to focus, but somehow your brain feels slow. You reread, highlight, and take notes. Yet when it's time to recall, it's like your memory hit a reset button. The truth? Most of us never learned how to study. We just imitate what we see others doing, cramming, rereading, underlining, techniques that look productive but don't actually make us learn faster. And that's why studying can feel like a punishment instead of progress. Promise/preview, what you'll learn. But what if studying didn't have to feel like that? What if you could cut your study time in half, while actually remembering more? In this video, you'll learn how to study so fast it almost feels illegal, using science-backed methods that top students and memory experts use. We'll break it down into 5 practical steps, simple enough to start today, and powerful enough to change the way you learn forever. Step 1. The fastest learners don't read, they retrieve. Here's the truth. Rereading is one of the slowest ways to learn. Your brain doesn't grow by input, it grows by output. That's why active recall is your first illegal feeling study method. Instead of rereading your notes, close the book and try to recall what you just learned. Ask yourself questions. Teach it out loud. Write it down from memory. When you force your brain to retrieve, you're strengthening the exact pathways you'll use in the exam. Think of it like working out. You don't build muscle by watching someone else lift weights. You build it by struggling a bit. The same goes for memory. I used to waste hours rewriting notes, thinking I was being productive. But once I started quizzing myself after each topic, I realized how little I actually knew, and that's when I truly began learning faster. Step 2. Space it out like a pro. Here's something crazy. Forgetting is not your enemy, it's your superpower. When you review something right before you're about to forget it, your brain locks it in deeper. That's called spaced repetition, and it's used by top students, med school learners, and language experts. Apps like Anki or Quizlet automate this, but you can also do it manually. For example, review new material after 1 day, then 3 days, then a week, then 2 weeks. Each time, the information gets harder to forget, and you don't need to study it again from scratch. Think of your brain like a filing system. If you don't revisit the folder for too long, it goes missing. But if you check it occasionally, it stays exactly where you need it. Step 3. Use time pressure to your advantage. Here's the paradox. The more time you think you have, the slower you study. This is called Parkinson's Law. Work expands to fill the time you give it. To study faster, use short, focused bursts. Set a timer for 25 minutes, one focused sprint, then take a 5-minute break. This method, known as the Pomodoro technique, forces your brain to work with urgency and clarity. You'll be amazed at how much more you get done when you limit yourself. It's like tricking your brain into exam mode without the actual exam stress. Just make sure you're honest during those 25 minutes. No checking your phone, no background scrolling. Step 4. Make your brain curious, the motivation trick. Let's be honest. Studying feels slow mostly because it feels boring. But boredom is not a lack of motivation. It's a lack of curiosity. Here's a mindset shift that changes everything. Don't start studying to memorize. Start studying to discover. Ask, why, more often. Why does this formula work? Why did this event happen in history? Why do people believe this concept? The more your brain links information to interest, the faster it processes it. In psychology, this is called elaborative encoding. Your brain builds more connections around what it already finds meaningful. So before every study session, take 30 seconds to find something intriguing about your topic. That small spark of curiosity will make even the hardest subjects feel lighter and faster. Step 5. Review smarter, not longer. Here's what most students get wrong. They think more time equals more learning. But after a certain point, your attention and memory actually drop. That's why strategic reviewing is key. Instead of endless note-taking, try the Feynman technique. Explain what you just learned in simple words, as if teaching a 10-year-old. If you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it yet. And if you can, you've just proven mastery. This technique is like a truth detector for your understanding. It exposes what you think you know, but actually don't. Pitfalls/common mistakes. Now, a quick warning, because I've fallen into these traps too. Don't chase aesthetic productivity. Fancy notes, color coding, or aesthetic setups look great on camera, but real studying happens in the mess, where you're testing, failing, and correcting. Also, don't overdo it. Studying fast doesn't mean studying non-stop. Speed comes from clarity, not exhaustion. If you're burning out, it means you're learning inefficiently. Take breaks, hydrate, and remember, your brain is a muscle, not a machine. So let's recap. You want to study so fast it feels illegal? Here's how. Active recall, don't reread, retrieve. Spaced repetition, revisit before you forget. Pomodoro technique, short, focused bursts. Curiosity mindset, learn to discover, not just memorize. Feynman technique, teach to truly understand. Do these 5 things consistently, not perfectly, and you'll cut your study time dramatically while remembering more. Now here's the truth. Most people will watch this video, nod their heads, and go back to their old study habits. But if you actually apply just one of these techniques today, even for 10 minutes, you'll feel the difference. It won't just make you a faster learner. It'll make you a more confident one. So try this tonight. Pick a topic, set a timer, and test yourself. You might surprise yourself with how much your brain can do when you finally give it the right method. If you found this helpful, consider subscribing, not just to learn faster, but to think better. Because the truth is, once you master how to study, everything else becomes easier.